Holdfast Marine's videos are sponsored in part by TotalBoat. If you would like to support the channel, please subscribe and follow the link to our Patreon account. Thank you. Hey everybody, Will from Holdfast Marine, your local boat shop. We are in the shop. I know the audio is going to be kind of squirrely on this first video because of the heater, but I did receive a new microphone cord today. It's at the house where I'm not. So anyway, but guys, this is going to be a multi-part video, and we're going to be restoring this canoe. We're going to be using TotalBoat products. We're going to be using, I think, some Alexial products if they show up on time. Yeah, and we're going to redo this whole thing. So I'm going to be having help on this video. There's going to be a student, actually two students who have signed up for a course on how to use resin, paint, fairing compound, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to see a few extra people in here from time to time as I'm talking while they're working, all that good stuff. So follow along as best you can. For those of you who haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that bell notification, like and comment, do all that great stuff because I really appreciate it. And if you're feeling extra super generous, please head over to our Patreon page and help us out a little bit there. So let's get right into this video. All right, so as of right now, I'm unsure of the make of this canoe. It has a placard on it, Maker's Mark, standard boat placard, but I can't read it. I have to take it off and clean it up, probably with a little acid or something, just so I can see what the hell it says. But if you take a look, if you guys want to follow me, take a look here. Try not to whack you into the Bridgeport. The belly of this is way too soft, and it has a lot of cracking. There's been some repairs done to this boat, like right here. You can hear the difference. This rub rail, as you can see, is completely obliterated. Yeah, so kind of the plan for today is going to be to remove all of the rub rail, drill out all the rivets, and if we have time, start sanding down the hull. There's some pretty good bashes right here. You can see, I mean, that's some pretty serious blowouts there. More than likely, there's going to be a lot of time lapses in this video because I don't want to make the students uncomfortable with filming. This is going to, like I said, going to be our first class, so I got to really try and figure out what they're comfortable with and what they're not comfortable with. Yeah, so be prepared for some time lapses. But when it comes to something intricate and exciting, I will obviously stop the video and we'll talk about it. This project is actually going to be auctioned off for a local charity. And I want to just say right now that all of the epoxy, almost all of the epoxy, has been provided to me by TotalBoat, as well as some Gleam spar varnish, which we'll get into that because there's some woodwork that I want to redo here. Yeah, so going to wait for this guy to show up. He should be here any minute. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. So stay tuned. All right, friends. Yeah. Didn't really do any filming with the student here because he was really into, well, learning. So I didn't get a chance to really do any filming. However, there's nobody here today, so I'm going to run with you guys on what I've done on this canoe so far. I did a couple of tests. I'm still waiting on a few things from my good friends over at TotalBoat. Again, thank you, Megan. I love you. Never met you, but I love you. So let's show you guys what I've done so far. All right, if you take a look right here, what we did was we started grinding and sanding out some of the cracks that were in this. And of course, as you can see, there was some really soft, I don't know if you guys can hear this. There's some really, really, really soft spots here, which is problematic because that leads to these big giant holes. Also have identified a few more patches. You can see here. It's actually, they used the wrong fiber. This is like AutoZone fiberglass, but I believe it's 6 ounce, which is what I'm waiting for now. If we come around to the other side, we'll see a whole slew of naughtiness and grossness and whatnot. Over here, we found some pretty drastic problems. This crack was actually multiple cracks coming up. Same with this, and this was a pretty significant crack. And we have a pretty significant crack right here, here, and here as well. I don't know, can you guys even see that? You cannot. So we've got a pretty significant crack here, here, and there. So really what I'd like to do now is kind of show you guys how I ground these out and what it looks like when we grind it out. So I just need a few seconds to get the fest tool set up and ready to go, and then I will show you guys what we got going on. Here we go. We've got a pretty decent crack here, pretty big one there, and one there. And I'm going to start off by doing this one because it's closest to the camera. I'm going to grind this down a little bit, and then I'll move you guys in for a better angle so that you can see some of the larger cracks here and here. I'm going to be using, this is 40 grit fest tool paper on the fest tool. This is, God, I say a lot. This is the, this is the RO90 with the Rotex, and that's the mode that we're going to be on, is on the Rotex. And yeah, I'm going to start the vacuum up and we'll grind this down. All right, so what did we learn about that? I think Whitney Houston said it the best: crack is whack, and cracks are whack. Let me show you what we've uncovered here. So, I gotta stop saying so. If you look at this, I know it's probably a little harder for you to see because it's probably not focusing on it, but I can actually put my finger right through here. But just a few inches away, the other crack is here, just a few inches away, I can't. Even if I were to ground this down, like right here where this crack has been exposed, I still can't push my finger all the way through it. But I can here. And you can actually see the cracking in whatever this fairing compound is, and I think it's polyfair, because it smells like polyfair. But that's what I'm suspecting there. I'm not going to grind all the way through this crack, just simply because we're going to be adding an entire layer of 6-ounce mat around this sumbitch. And then we're going to do the same thing on the inside if we have enough mat and epoxy. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's polyfair. It smells like polyfair, and it's tan. So I don't think it's epoxy, but it could be. I don't know. Again, that's why we're running with the epoxy resin, because I'm pretty sure that this is poly, but I'm not 100% sure. So a good rule of thumb is if you're not 100% sure, run with epoxy. Most boats are going to be poly, but if you're not sure and there's been other repairs done, go with epoxy to be safe. So I am going to kind of grind this other crack out here. Dropping shit. I'm going to grind this other crack out, kind of blend it into the other issues that we're having here, and then I will let you know what's next after that. what I've done here. So I wanted to just give this a quick little sanding just to see how much of a pain in the ass it was going to be. Not too bad. And I'm going to kind of walk you through my mentality of how I sanded this. I know that this is whatever the canoe originally was. But if you look down here, this, and as I grind it, I know I'm wearing a mask, but when I take my mask off, I smell rattle can paint, like a Rust-Oleum or something. That's what I can smell. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that's Rust-Oleum. I'm yelling, I don't need to, I have a microphone. Yeah, so this is Rust-Oleum. This is the original paint and or gel coat. Pretty sure it's gel coat. Yeah, anyway. So you can see what I've done here as I expose this crack, and what I want to show you again here is this crack, if I get in here, I know I need to cut my fingernails. There's not much deflection. But when I get over into these areas where it's really squishy, see like right there? This crack doesn't have that. And even if I ground down more, this crack would not have that because there's not a lot of damage here. This thing fell off a truck or did something. I don't know what, but it did. And it got some pretty serious damage here. Because up here it's solid, down here solid, even right here where there's no paint left, solid, squishy, squishy, really squishy, really squishy. Okay. As far as sanding down to get everything ready for paint and fairing, if you look right here, I sanded this pretty aggressively. You can see I had a high spot right there. And over here, I've got a low spot. So I'm just going to keep sanding this area down until that's gone. You can sand all of this project with a DA sander or a Festool sander or whatever. The trick is to keep moving in opposite directions. Move this way, move this way, move this way. Move in a lot of different directions. That way you don't really have to worry about, you know, getting all screwed up or sanding through. Dirty lens there. What's the next step? The next step is going to be to keep sanding this bitch down. Yeah, she needs some sanding. I don't know. Other followers or maybe new people have noticed there might be a little bit more cursing in these than my other videos. That's because I don't care anymore. I just want to make good videos. I'm not going to let myself be censored. You don't like it, you don't like it. But this is America, damn it. Okay. But before I go, we're going to flip this girl over and take a look at her bottom. Wait a minute. We're already looking at her bottom. We're going to take a look at her insides. Flip her over, take a look at her insides. Well, I did run a center line running down this canoe, and we did put a support in the middle just to help it kind of keep its shape a little bit, because without its gunnel, you can actually see if I push in here, it really deflects something hard. And you can hear that old fiberglass. Listen, can you guys hear that? Yeah. She cracky. You can see this old patch where there was a hole. Not a bad job patching it, I won't lie. I mean, some air bubbles here and there, whoever did this, but all in all, did a pretty good job. Some Bondo here, or JB Weld or something, don't know what, but if we go around to the other side, we got our big holes there. So those are gonna get patched both sides. Well, I think we're going to leave her there for this quick introductory, depending on what part of the country you come from, video. And we will get right into the next video shortly. I'm going to film it Saturday, and then I'll have that posted the following Sunday. So what you're watching is going to be a week behind what's actually happening. We have 4 or 5 Saturdays to get this boat to paint. I'm not going to be able to install the gunnel because I can't get it. It's all back ordered right now. So that's going to be maybe a spring and or summer install because like I said, it's back ordered. It's ridiculously expensive right now. I want to thank you all again for kind of tuning in to this incredibly short video with zero information in it whatsoever other than what we're working on here. Please subscribe. I know most of you have already tuned off. Subscribe to the channel, hit the comment button or the like button, Yeah, and then comment and hit the bell notification. That way I know that you have subscribed. We are gaining subscribers like gangbusters. Again, about 100 a month, which is, by YouTube standards, nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Head on over to our Patreon page. And if you can, throw us a couple of bucks. Throw us a couple of bucks. And by us, I mean me. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Okay, one more thing. Respirators. This is my old 3M respirator, made by 3M. Guys, you got to clean these things out a lot, because this has been sitting for a while, and because I'm bald, I don't want to take my hat off to film because I look old as fuck. But if you look inside here, can you guys see in there? Yeah, see that? Right there. It's all wet in there. And that, my friends, is mold. That is mold. Clean your respirators. See you guys next time.